Hi everyone. So this question says, I keep jumping between many business ideas, but my current business has complaints. Do I face the complaints first or move on to start something new? Alright, so there is this common saying that how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So it means that if you are in the habit of start something new, move on to the next, regardless of how what you have started is, right? It means that when you move on to start something new, you would most likely repeat that. Do it for a while, move on to the next, do it for a while, move on to the next, without necessarily paying attention to the state of what you have started, right? How it is, paying attention to the state. So what you want to do is to form the habit of starting, stabilizing, then moving. Start, stabilize, then you can move. And the reason you want to stabilize is you may look at a particular business and you may be like, okay, this business is, and of course I understand that in some cases it's not necessarily the urge to start something new per se. Sometimes you may outgrow certain businesses and you may not want to pay attention to them anymore. Maybe you have grown, maybe the scale of that business is somewhere in the range where this new business opportunity gives you something way better, right? And most likely you started something new and you see that maybe this new business is making 100 times more than the older one, right? Naturally, there's that tendency not to pay attention to the smaller one, right? But one thing you owe that small business is to stabilize it. And you want to form that culture, develop that attitude of always stabilizing before you move, right? Because even in this new business you have started, if you see a bigger opportunity, if you do not develop that culture of stabilizing before you move, you would most likely dump it or leave it in a state that it is not the best, and then move on to the next, right? And so you just start, move, and that's not the best way to go about running businesses. You want to start, stabilize, move, start, stabilize. If necessary, you can move, right? So should you move on to the next, or should you pay attention to the business? The first thing I would encourage you to, regardless of the size of the business, whether it's a small business or whatever, stabilize the business first, right? What are clients majorly complaining about, right? And sometimes, from personal experience, I've learned that even from small businesses, there are things you can learn that will be helpful when you are running big businesses. If you have not started the business from scratch, right, there are some processes you may not know, right, that may be helpful for you when you even start a bigger business, right? So pay attention to fixing those issues. What are clients complaining about? Is it maybe poor delivery? Is it customer service? Is it customer support? You know, what are clients complaining about? Pick out the major complaints you get and try to sort them as fast as possible, and then put systems in place to ensure that those complaints do not resurface, right? And then when you have stabilized that business, then you can probably move on to something bigger or something new that is probably bigger. You know, so that way you are building a culture of starting, stabilizing, and then moving. And that creates a predictable growth pattern, because once you have stabilized the business, putting necessary systems in place, right, it's easy to grow with that, because you stabilize it, it's not going to collapse, right? You pay attention to ensure that it's running smoothly, it continues to run, right? So start, stabilize, and then move on to the next. I'm Melo Cheda, and I'm here to help you become a better version of yourself. See you next time.